Hello there everybody and a warm welcome to my channel Tarot by Izabela. I hope you're all doing fine and I'm very happy to see you here. Today's video will be a viewers questions video, and before we begin I just want to talk a little bit about my absence here. I had to take a couple of days off since it became a little bit too much. Late nights and the whole day and night was all about videos and editing, and I just needed a short break to recharge and gather some strength. Be out in the nature, pick dandelions and spring nettles and dry the herbs and make some syrups and things like that. And I'm very grateful for all of your mails and concerns about my well-being. The channel is still up and running, and in case something would happen to the channel, you never know. Information war is really hitting hard everywhere. In case something happens, you will find me at rumble.com and under my name Tarot by Izabela, one word without any space, just Tarot by Izabela. You can find the link below in the description in case something would happen to the channel, but let's hope not. That we can still be here and continue doing videos. What's more, I had a lot of questions sent to me, and today's viewers question will be a little bit about what's happening around in our world at the moment, and it's very turbulent. It's rumors of war everywhere, and people are very worried. And I'm going to look a little bit into those questions. Soon I'm going to read them for you, which question I will look into today. And I also want to thank you all so much for all of your comments, for your sharing, for your caring. And without you, I would not have any strength at all to continue. So thank you so much. I also want to make a short update before we begin about upcoming videos. Today is Wednesday, the 3rd of May. And I hopefully during the coming week, 10 days, I will be able to post new message from the ancient one, and we did a channeling on 1st of May, and I still have a lot of editing to do to translate it and make it into a video. So that is coming up. I will also do a reading for Iceland, the little volcanic island in the North Atlantic Sea. It's a very special island, so I'm going to look into that island and some other videos that could be of interest. But today's video will be about the viewers' questions. And the viewers' questions for today are, glasses on, and I have my notes here. Yes, as I said, today is Wednesday, the 3rd of May. And on alternative medias, there have been reported that Kreml in Russia has been struck by a drone attack from NATO, according to that alternative media. And it was a kind of assassination attempt on Putin. And this could have very serious consequences. So I'm going to look into that also, what happens. That will be the first question. And also on lot of alternative social platforms. There are a lot of talk about that Putin is very ill and he's soon about to die and things like that. And also going to look into that in combination with the question about the drone attack on him. And he was not there, was not hurt, but still, if what is going on, what this could lead to. And the second question will be if there will be a war between Iran and Israel. And also, will Russia invade Poland? And another question that could be of interest is, will there be a new pandemic originating from Sudan? There have been a lot of reports about biolabs in Sudan with very dangerous diseases, and now where there's almost like civil war in Sudan, what will happen there? Will we be hit with a new deadly pandemic? In this case, a deadly pandemic. And then I had a lot of questions about Erdogan, the leader of Turkey, if he's good or evil, or what is happening, because there is an upcoming election there. So we're going to look into that question also. And as the final question, I have a lot of viewers that ask me about the coronation of Charles, if he will become king and what will happen during that. So we're also going to look as the last question of the coronation of Charles, what will happen. But let's start with the first question about this drone attack on Kreml, assassination attack on Putin. What will happen after that? And also if Putin is seriously ill, if he's dying, or how is his health? So let's start. To answer this question, I'm going to use my tarot cards, my oracle cards, and some dice. And I'm also going to take some gypsy cards that could be of use. I have them here, so they can also come. Let's first concentrate on this drone attack, assassination attempt on Vladimir Putin in Kreml. They hit the roof of a building in Kreml, but I have not so much more news about it at the moment. But let's see if there will be a full war after this assassination attempt. Some oracle cards. Gypsy card and some dice. So let's see what we got here. What will happen? And it looks like this. We have fortune, talking bubble. Vision for keep an open mind. Well, I don't see that this drone attack on the Kreml will have very horrible consequences, like Russia hitting a city in Europe and the US. There will be very, very strong warnings, and it's like they have had enough. Enough is enough. And they have crossed the line attacking Kreml and where Putin resides. I don't see that anything happened to Putin. It's like he's well protected. But there will be more power given to the military, and they will take some actions. And that will not be in Europe or the US, according to the cards. I see like they will really now go for the country U and I say finish the war. They're going to speed the process up. And like give more money, give more weapons to this war. There are other things behind the scenes, because we have the card here, keep an open mind. So even if this may look very horrible, there is another game playing. There are a lot of information that will not be told yet, and it looks like it's under control. It's like a big project, and this is also a part of it. The problem is that a lot of people will get very worried. It's very heavy on them, and there will be a lot of fear. Yeah. What will happen now? The strange thing is that mainstream media is not mentioning this, since this happened early today, Wednesday the 5th, in the morning. And it should be headlines everywhere, but it's not. So they're trying to keep that low. But still, alternative media is reporting about that. Okay, so I don't see any dangerous consequences like a big bomb falling on a city in the US or a NATO country killing a lot of people. No. I see it more like they're going a back way, and they're gonna reveal a lot of information that the mainstream cannot be quiet about. They will be able to get that out. I don't know how, but something will come out of it. Very damaging information for the US and also a lot of European countries, what have been done behind the scenes. Yeah. So let's take some cards on the Mr. Putin. How is his health? Is he healthy, or is he very ill, as many social platforms, alternative platforms, talk about? That he's very ill and he's about to die, and they're gonna clone him. Or maybe they already had cloned him. So let's see here for Mr. Putin. How is Mr. Putin's health today? Mr. Putin and his health. dice. And it looks like this. So, regarding Mr. Putin's health, we have the moon, lion finger, release your eggs, a lot of coins, 7 of cups, the death card, and 8 of coins. The death card in the center is a card of deception and lies. And where is deception and lies? We have the death card next to it. So it looks like there is some lies about his health. Like he's dying, but he's not, because all of the other cards are very strong, very healthy cards. We have a lion here. We have this high coin cards, and it's also like richness. There's something that's overflowing. And in the gypsy card we have love. So I don't see him very ill, like dying. It's more like they are giving, how do you say, information that is not correct to make people worried or fight amongst them. Oh, now Mr. Putin is weak, we should attack, now the country is gonna fall down, they're gonna not have any leader. It's some kind of tactic for war, it looks like here. I'm gonna take one more card to see and put it on the death card regarding, is he dying? Is Mr. Putin dying? And we have the card of justice, the balance. So I don't see him dying, he's quite balanced in health. And we have the best doctors that you can get on this planet at the moment. So it's quite balanced. So I don't see him seriously ill. It's more something that is circulating, but it's not any truth behind it. And as many important leaders from many countries, they also have doubles that go out in public when it's needed. So he will not risk his life for some kind of assassination attack. Yeah, but no, I don't see him with a serious illness that could shorten his life earlier. No. We're all gonna die sooner or later, but here I don't see it sooner, more later. Yeah. So that was my question about my answers about the attacks on Kreml today and Mr. Putin's health. Let's continue to the next question. And the next question was about, you can take Mr. Erdogan, the leader of Turkey. And I had many viewers that asked me if he's a good guy, bad guy, if he's evil, what is his thing, and a little bit about the election on, I think it's on Saturday, I'm not sure, but soon they're coming up with an election in Turkey. Yeah, so let's see. Mr. Erdogan. Does he belong to the good guys or the bad guys? Mr. Erdogan. And a gypsy card here. And some dice. What is happening here? It looks like Erdogan. He has the military in his hand because he had a sword and a military man, and he's keeping a strong hand, Turkey in a strong hand. He is a little bit obsessed, everything for him, and he wants to rise himself above, and he wants to be loved and respected by everyone. I don't get any evil cards here, so I don't see him as pure evil. He's keeping the country in a strong hand. And I have the card of faith, family, and the faithful dog. So it seems like he's very faithful to his religion, to his country, to his people, and he wants to keep them together and rise them. And he wants to not maybe rule the world, but he wants to continue to rule and have the Turkish roots, the Turkish tradition, keep them strong. And that is his goal. I don't see him like he wants to expand, take one country and next country. No, he wants to keep Turkey, to continue being Turkey. Yeah, not too much influenced from the West. We have the card of strength. I don't see Erdogan very ill either. And I don't see him as evil, even if I don't see him as very good. So he's in between. And his main goal, as I said, is to keep his country strong, and he's faithful to his religion and to his country and to his people. And as I said, he loves to be worshipped as a great leader. Yeah. And for the election that is upcoming, I'm going to take 3 more cards on the election in Turkey. What about the Turkish election? Will he be re-elected? There will be a lot of internal fights in this election. It could be that on the border, or he's very close to losing. Something will happen. Could be some internal fight or political fight, a lot of disagreements. And there are a lot of people that want to have him as a leader, but also a lot of people that don't want to have him. And it will be, It looks like he will win, but it will not be with a big marginal, I say. So it's not like he gets 80% of the votes and competition gets 20. No, it will be very close. But it looks like that he will continue to rule. And it also like the people feel some kind of security with him. Because he's still strong man for Turkey. Yeah, and I also see some kind of opposition to him. Maybe they get quiet, or maybe I don't know. So as I said, he's not an angel, but not devil either. So it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Yeah. Well, that was my answer for Erdogan. Let's continue to the next question. What is the next question? And that is if there will be a war between Iran and Israel. Yeah, things are really heating up in the Middle East. And Iran is getting more and more independent, or rising up against the West. And let's see if there will be a war between those two countries, or if they're just scaring each other, or if this, what we're living in right now, is really gonna escalate in a bad way. So let's see, Iran and Israel. Will there be an open war between those two nations? I see some bombs being shot on both sides, from Iran to Israel, from Israel to Iran. But I don't see that it will escalate to a very big, bad war. But let's see what the cards say about that. Will there be a war between Israel and Iran? These and some dice, and soon we're gonna see. Will there be a big war between Israel and Iran? Okay. And it looks like this. What do we have here? We have pluck, a mermaid, a warrior, lost, and the children. We also have in the center 9 of swords, and that means a lot of talk, pointing fingers. You did this, you did that, you are you are so. And conflict, yes, there will be some kind of conflict. We have the warrior and we have conflict, and 2 of swords, some kind of disagreement. But still I don't see a big war. As I said, could be small bombs, some soldiers here, soldiers there, but I don't see it escalating to a super big conflict. It seems here, since we have the justice below the children, and I get a very, very strong feeling that some justice is going to be made regarding the little ones. And in many videos we have talked about the little ones, what is happening to them, all kind of abuse. And it seems like, I'm not for sure, but it could be that Iran gets a lot of information about children, what's happening for children in Israel. I'm not saying the Israeli people are doing anything bad, but the bad side, the evil side, that is doing a lot of evil stuff with children, are, you can say, connected in some way to Israel. And there will be information coming out that will make people nervous. And they have to start some kind of conflict to cover up very important or dangerous information, because if it comes out, they're gonna lose. They're gonna be a lost country. And there's a lot of money involved in this, what is going on at the moment. Sorry, I said 9 of Swords. It's 7 of Swords, and 7 of Swords is conflict, it's nervous, it's like anxiety. And we have 4 of Swords. So even if there's gonna be some kind of fight, but I don't see open war, the whole thing is gonna calm down, and it will not escalate to a very long, bloody war with a lot of casualties. And this could be because of the little ones, some justice coming to the little ones, and they have to hush everything down and calm everything down. No country is totally clean regarding the little ones. Even Iran have their special, on their places. But I don't see Iran as a center or hub for this kind of thing. No. But a lot of things gonna be revealed regarding them. And it's also about money and oil and natural resources. We have nature here. So the conflict is on many layers, but no open war. Well, that was my answer for Iran and Israel. Let's continue to next question. And that is if Russia is going to invade Poland. Will Russia invade Poland? Let's see, because the Polish people are putting, mixing them a lot in this conflict with the country U and country R, and facilitating for weapons and war material to enter to Ukraine through Poland. So let's see if the country R, Russia, is going to invade Poland. Is Russia going to invade Poland? 2 cards want to come here. Is Russia going to invade Poland? Let's see. Well, it looks like that. Well, I don't see an invasion of Poland. Like Russia's gonna take over the whole Poland, make it their territory, and everybody has to speak Russian. No, I don't see that. But there will be some consequences for Poland mixing in this conflict in country U. They will lose something. I cannot say what exactly, or they have to because we're the card of reconciliation, maybe openly I say ask for forgiveness that they have mixed themselves or something like that. Yeah. What does it say here? Sister and badminton. It's also like a game. They're playing like a game in this. Even if they're mixed in the conflict, there will be some kind of reconciliation between country or Russia and Poland. I don't see them be invaded. They will lose something. Could be a piece of land or their honor or whatever it could be. And they will have to leave whatever they're expecting to take in the country U. They will not be for them. Because it's like they are planning, oh, we're going to take that part of the country U is going to belong to us, and so on and so on. This I don't see it's going to be fulfilled. They're going to lose that dream or that hope for this piece of land. According to the cards, anyway. We also have the card of stability, the gypsy card, so it will be stable. I don't see an invasion. I don't see a lot of dead people, bombs dropping here and there. After all, they are all Slavic people, and genetically going back, they are related in some way. So no invasion. But there will be price to pay. And there will be also some kind of reconciliation in the future. Well, that was my answer for if Russia's gonna invade Poland. So let's continue to the last question for today. And this is about if there's gonna be this time deadly, very deadly pandemic, starting from the country of Sudan. And there is conflict going on. People are trying to escape the country of Sudan. It's difficult. They are, as always, the West are making a country in Africa their playground for war. And we have two different kinds of fractions, East-West, that are really fighting against each other. And there have been reports that there are some very important biolabs in Sudan. Why? Why biolabs? That holds very, very dangerous disease. And this biolabs, or they have been hit or hurt, and the rumors goes that it's a big possibility that some very, very deadly disease is going to escape from this biolab in Sudan. And it's strange. Yeah, they have been planning new pandemics like 2-3 years ago, and now it's coming. Yeah. So let's see, will there be a new very deadly pandemic that begins from Sudan? And always African people victims for the West conflicts. Yeah. Let's see here. Sudan. Will there be a new pandemic? Deadly one. This time very deadly one. Will there be a very dangerous pandemic? We're talking about Marburg virus, very, very deadly virus that may escape. Let's see if that is the case. What we have here. No, it looks like this. According to the cards, I don't see a very deadly pandemic and that will spread around the planet and in every country, and people will drop dead like flies here and there. No. Some kind of some kind of disease will be released, but it will be contained to a specific area. I don't see it spreading all around the globe. No. Because we have binoculars. Yeah. You know, the one who you look into, and we have a crown, deception, money, and the cards around here are quite calm. Even if there is sorrow and disease in the center, poverty. So something will happen, but I don't see it going global. It will be detained and controlled. Even if they try to make it go around, it will not spread. And it's something new. New kind of disease that have been invented. new. Yeah, you can say it new because it could be a strain of an old disease, but they make it more deadly. The conflict in Sudan, I see get a strong number 2, could be that it will continue 2 more months before it will stop. And there's a lot of deception around this conflict. So a lot of things that is going on we don't really know about. And this will also come to the open what is really going on in this country. Yeah. But no deadly new pandemic. That was my answer for Sudan. And yeah, I forgot I have one more question to look into, and that is Charles, Prince Charles of UK. And his coronation is coming up soon. How will it go? Will he become king? If he becomes king, will he remain a king? So let's look around that coronation for Prince Charles. How will it go? Prince Charles coronation. Prince Charles and his coronation. How will it go? One missing here. Oracle cards. Gypsy card. And a dice. Let's see what we got. Embraced, sun, point. And it looks like this. It looks like this coronation will be held. Yeah. It will go through. And it's something that this Prince Charles have wanted all his life to become king. And he have worked very hard for that. And he will move from being prince to be the emperor, the king. And the whole coronation process will go quite smoothly. And even if there will be a lot of stress moments because there could be some protests outside the place that the ceremony is gonna be. But overall, I see it happen, this coronation. A lot of people will not want it to be happening because we have, tristesse, melancholy. A lot of people don't like Prince Charles. I don't want to see him becoming king. But according to the cards, he will be crowned. The coronation will go through publicly anyway. But we have the magician here, so it's some kind of illusion, all this what is happening. I'm not sure if it is exactly the real Prince Charles that is being coronated or whatever is on the play with this. But the magician is here, so it's a little bit like an illusion. But anyway, the official coronation will happen. And now, when Prince Charles will become king, will he remain king for many years? What will happen there? Will Prince Charles remain king? I have 5 of Swords, the Judgment, and the Military. He will be under some kind of investigation from military that will probably find something on him, because some kind of judgment will be given on this new king. And let's see, for how long will he remain as king? If the cards can say that. For how long will Charles be king? We have a number 2, 2 of coins. Could be 2 weeks, 2 months, even 2 years, I'm not sure, but something with number 2. So my answer for the last question for today, and that was regarding if Prince Charles will become king and how the coronation is gonna work. And according to the cards, there will be a coronation. He will become an official king. But behind the scenes, it's a lot of illusion, because we have the magician. There will be a lot of protests. People will be protesting. I don't see any big clashes or any killing or something like that. No. So it will go quite smoothly. And it's something that this Prince Charles had wanted all his life, and really, could not wait until the day he can sit on that throne. But I also see military judgment and a little bit problems there with his reign as a king. So something will happen, and he will go under investigation. Well, that was my answer for the last question of today's viewers' question. And if you have liked what you have seen and heard, please don't forget to press like button, share button, and subscription button. And to all of you wonderful, wonderful viewers, I want to thank you so much for watching. Take care out there. Don't forget to not deep dive too much in all of this bad news and problems and struggling and turmoil that is going on. Try to find some time for you to walk in nature, to pick some flowers, to take off your shoes, just ground your feet for a few minutes, if it's possible, on the ground, on the grass. Release a lot of tension. Things are building up, and it's going very in a fast way, speeding up all the events, and one event after another, and one can almost not keep track on everything that is going on until we reach a culmination, and things gonna change dramatically for the better, for the good guys, good people, but not for the evil ones. Well, once again, take care out there. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we're gonna see each other soon again. Bye bye.